A man is shot 3 times at a Rockford gas station. It's one of several weekend shootings currently under investigation.
Plus, it's only a couple more days until Valentine's. Consumer advocates offer tips on the best ways to avoid scams ahead of the holiday.
And the state releases new data on the spread of respiratory illnesses. Health officials say while the numbers look better, they can't rule out another spike in cases.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. 3 men are in the hospital after a series of separate shootings in Rockford over the weekend.
The first incident happened Friday night. Rockford police were told that a 23-year-old man was being taken to a hospital after being shot in the face and chest. Officers picked him up near Winnebago and Whitman Streets. It's not clear where the shooting took place. Then early Sunday morning, a 24-year-old man arrived at a local hospital with a gunshot wound to the leg. He told police he was walking near Island Avenue in South Main when it happened. Just a couple of hours later, another man showed up at a hospital after being shot on Harrison Avenue. The 24-year-old told police the shooting happened while he was getting into his car at a gas station. He'd been shot in the leg and chest. Rockford police are still investigating these shootings. If you have any information, contact Rockford Police or Rockford Area Crime Stoppers.
Police arrest a Freeport man after they say they found a loaded handgun on him. Today, Freeport officers were called to a home near East Jefferson and South Rotzler Avenue for reports of a man threatening others with a gun. Police found Oscar Ortez at the house. During a search, officers say they also found a semi-automatic pistol and what police believe to be cocaine. Ortez has been charged with possession of a controlled substance and unlawful use of a weapon. He is in the Stevenson County Jail.
Tim Mapes, the former chief of staff for ex-Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan, is sentenced to more than 2 years in prison.
Mapes' defense team petitioned for community service. WGN's Sean Lewis has reaction to the verdict.
With a freshly shaved head, Tim Mapes walked into the Dirksen Federal Building about to learn his fate. Judge John Ness sentencing the 69-year-old Mapes to 2.5 years in federal prison. Mapes' attorneys wanted probation. The one-time Illinois House Clerk, Executive Director of the Illinois Democratic Party, and Chief of Staff to longtime former House Speaker Michael Madigan, Mapes was once known in Springfield as the gatekeeper to Madigan, the keyholder to power. This case centered around Mapes' testimony to a grand jury in July 2021 related to the political corruption investigation of Madigan. The Justice Department granted immunity to Mapes in that testimony so long as he told the truth. But last year, a jury found that Mapes instead lied in a series of I don't recall answers to questions about orders Madigan gave to his longtime friend and ComEd lobbyist, Michael McLean. Just last year, McLean was found guilty, along with 3 others, in a conspiracy to funnel payments from ComEd to Madigan Associates. Madigan faces his own trial in October. In a prepared speech, Mapes told the judge today he was a humbled man, adding, "I accept that the outcome of this case means it is possible I will have to serve time away from my family." The judge saying to Mapes, "This is a sad case because I don't understand why you did what you did. You were immunized in a grand jury and all you had to do was go in there and tell the truth."
That was Sean Lewis reporting. While many people are preparing for Valentine's Day, consumer advocates warn about the dangers of meeting others online. Experts say there's some key approaches scammers use when looking for their next victim. A common technique is gaining the victim's trust to ask for money or compromising photos. Experts recommend asking for visual evidence or have video calls to prove the person is who they say they are. Other tips include telling family and friends about the relationship, ask questions about the person, and do some name searches online. And the Better Business Bureau is warning of potential tax scams as many Americans begin filing their forms. The BBB says last year they saw a rise in ghost tax preparer scams popping up online. Consumer advocates recommend if you have someone else work on your tax form, make sure they sign a form saying they prepared your taxes in case there are any mistakes.
If there's a problem with your return, who's responsible for that error is what that signature comes down to. So are you saying, I prepared this form and I swear everything is correct, or did someone else prepare this form? So just understanding what risk is involved there is important.
The BBB has a list of reliable tax services online.
The cost of owning a car keeps rising across the U.S. Insurance rates appear to be the main reason. A new report from Bankrate finds the average American driver is paying more than $2,500 every year for car insurance. That's a 26% increase from last year. The report says the total's nearly 3.5% of a yearly salary. Bankrate's chief financial analyst expects the pace of increases will eventually slow, but it won't mean premiums will come down. Drivers in the Forest City won't see any savings at the pump this week. The average gas price sits at $3.24 in Rockford. It's almost a 22-cent rise in the last week. Prices are almost 26 cents higher than a month ago, but they're 24 cents lower than a year ago. Experts at Gas Buddy say major refinery issues and the transition to summer gasoline is likely to keep prices climbing.
The Illinois Gaming Board has released its revenue numbers for the last year. They collected over $1.6 billion in tax revenue. This comes from 15 licensed casinos, over 46,000 video gaming terminals, and 13 sports wagering operators statewide. Illinois has one of the highest grossing sports wagering markets in the country since it first launched in 2020.
The spread of respiratory illnesses drops around Illinois. The Illinois Department of Public Health says the state's overall respiratory illness level decreased from low to minimal. The CDC's most recent data show a low level for patients in the hospital with COVID-19. No counties are at a high level. Respiratory illness activity overall is decreasing. According to IDPH, the virus season can last into the spring, so another uptick is still possible.
A local organization opens a new center dedicated to helping young children learn. Alignment Rockford held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the opening of its first Read, Play, and Learn Center. It's located at the Northwest Community Center. The space is stocked with toys, books, and other learning tools for young kids to use. It's part of the Ready to Learn initiative, which looks to grow early learning and development in Rockford. Staff at the community center say the space will go a long way to helping the community.
I think it's going to bring a huge impact to the community as well as the kids that we serve here. We're going to utilize it. So my staff here, they're going to utilize it with our kids here, and then we're going to open it up to allow other individuals outside of here to come in and utilize it as well.
Throughout the year, 9 other Read, Play, and Learn centers will open in Rockford. The King of Jordan meets with President Biden over the rise of threats in the Middle East.
Up next, the visit comes as Israel looks to expand its war against Hamas.
And coming up at 6, there's an ongoing national shortage of airplane mechanics. A local company says their new partnership has made significant strides in fixing the issue.
We've had a good range in temperatures here from this morning to this afternoon, closer to where we should be for that overnight low, but well above where we should be here for that afternoon high. Find out how long the warmth will stick around coming up in the first warn forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
The King of Jordan visits the White House to talk about the conflict spreading in the Middle East.
Both leaders disagreed about pausing the fighting, while the U.S. has a warning for Israel. Hannah Brandt recaps the meeting from Washington, D.C.
For the first time since the Israel-Hamas war began, President Biden met with Jordan's King Abdullah.
We're actively working for peace, security, and dignity for both the Palestinian people and the Israeli people.
The two leaders spoke about the conflict and the effort to free hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza. National Security Advisor John Kirby says negotiators are making progress on a hostage deal.
But it's not done, and nothing is really negotiated until everything is negotiated, and those conversations are ongoing now.
The allies disagree on what should come next in Gaza. The King of Jordan is calling for a permanent ceasefire.
This war must end.
But President Biden is only advocating for a temporary pause in fighting.
To get an extended pause in place, to bring the violence down, to get people out and get aid in, and that's what we're focused on.
U.S. officials say they are concerned about the growing number of civilian deaths and insist they're pushing Israel to do more to protect people.
We are happy that over the past month we have seen civilian casualties come down from the incredibly high rates that they were. they are still alarmingly high.
State Department spokesman Matthew Miller says the U.S. is warning Israel to protect civilians before attacking the city of Rafah in Gaza.
We do not support any military campaign in Rafah going forward as long as they cannot properly account for the 1.1 million people by some estimates who are in Rafah.
In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Temperatures made their way into the mid-40s.
After the break, Candace will tell us about our chances for rain this week, along with a cooling trend coming our way.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
We had lots of sunshine out there this afternoon, brought our temperatures into the mid and upper 40s, once again well above average, and it has been a very warm February so far. We've got mostly clear skies. We take a live look with our SkyTrack camera over downtown Rockford on top of the Supply Corps building here. Just a few clouds kind of working in, and we'll see just a couple of clouds work in as we go through the overnight tonight. Another cooler night as temperatures are down in the 20s, and like this morning, we may see some areas of frost once again. We're still at 45 in Rockford, 44 in Freeport, 43 in Monroe, and 42 in Rochelle. We've had a little bit of a breeze, which has pushed the wind chill factors down now into the 30s. So there is a little bit of a cool factor out there this evening, but the wind not expected to be overly strong. 44 for our weather watcher Terry in Genoa. Dew point sits at 30, westerly wind at 11 miles per hour. Now, we made quite the range here with our temperature, starting off at 18 degrees this morning and warming all the way up to 47. Now, that is almost a 30-degree temperature climb from morning to afternoon, which is quite impressive in itself. But the fact that this has come mid-February is also very impressive, thanks to a lot of dry air we have had in place. Now, temperatures have been well above average throughout the first almost 2 weeks now of the month of February, and it should come as no surprise that this is one of the warmest Februaries on record. In fact, is the warmest February on record to date. So that would be through the 11th, not including today. 37.5 degrees, that average temperature. Right behind that, 36.6. February 1999. Now, when we look at our winter so far, we're also within that top 5 warmest range from a meteorological winter standpoint, which is December 1st through the 11th. 1931 to 32, that winter year to date, 31.8 or season to date. 23-24, which would be this season, 31 degrees, that average temperature. And then following that, 05 and 06, 1905. And 1906, 30.7. So it has been a very warm month, to say the least, and a warm winter season too. Yeah, we had that cold spell kind of sandwiched in between a warm start and warm end to the month of January. And while we are going to see our temperatures drop just a bit here the next few days, it looks like we warm things right back up. Reason for the drop? Well, we have more of a northwesterly flow in our jet stream, so that allows some colder air to spill back in, but cold relatively speaking. It just brings our temperatures back closer to where we should be. We may see a couple days where high temperatures are in the upper 20s, which would be just a smidge below that average high of low to mid 30s. But by the time we get into the latter half of the weekend and into next week, those temperatures are expected to warm up once again. So here we go. We've got a mostly clear sky out there. We may see a few clouds kind of work in tonight. Temperatures back down into the 20s. Tomorrow, more of a northwesterly wind. So that does shave off a little from our afternoon high temperature, but we are still above average. Cloud cover will be on the increase Tuesday night, and we could see a snow flurry or two just as we get some warmer air to move in overnight Tuesday, then into Wednesday. Wednesday, we're 47. Most of Wednesday looking dry. Won't be until late Wednesday evening. We've got some rain showers overnight that could mix in with a couple of snow showers. So maybe some very, very minor accumulations to the north of the state line on Thursday. But I do think we will see some snow showers coming in on Friday. So day to watch. There's that drop in temperatures, guys, but could be in the 40s once again by next week.
Thanks, Candace.
Scott's in next with sports.
He'll tell us about a potential trade partner for the Bears for Justin Fields.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
If the Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams, which it appears they will, then they're going to be looking to trade Justin Fields. They're going to need a trade partner, and one could be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Today, the Steelers have announced that they will be parting ways with Mitch Trubisky. and that'll leave them with only one quarterback on their roster, Kenny Pickett. He hasn't performed up to their expectations. Now, Adam Schefter of ESPN reports that Steelers coach Mike Tomlin loves Fields, and Fields would be a distinct upgrade at quarterback for the Steelers. If the Bears are looking to trade Fields, it would be to an AFC team. So let's keep our eye on this and see if anything comes of it. With the NFL season behind us, more attention now turns to college basketball. In the AP poll this week, Connecticut is number 1, Purdue is 2nd, then comes Houston and Marquette. The Fighting Illini are 14th. The Badgers almost tumbled out of the top 20. They are ranked 20th. Well, Rockford Christian graduate Marcus Hill Jr. has earned another Mid-American Conference Player of the Week award with Bowling Green. It's his 3rd one this season. Last week, he scored 27 points against Buffalo and 22 points against Louisiana. Hill also shot an incredible 64% from the field. There's a streak going of 9 straight games in which he scored at least 20 points. Thursday night should be the night when Iowa's Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time scorer in women's college basketball. She needs 8 more points. Iowa will play Michigan Thursday. The Hawkeyes slipped from 2nd to 4th in the rankings this week after losing yesterday to Nebraska. The White Sox will be reporting for spring training this week along with the rest of Major League Baseball. GM Chris Getz says he's ready to get this thing started.
I'm looking forward to getting the season going. And this is the first opportunity to whether it be our front office hires, our employees throughout the organization, blending in with the group that's already there. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes to our roster, but to have everyone in the same building for the first time is exciting for me, and I know others.
Well, what a night it was for the Ice Hogs Saturday night when they retired Corey Crawford's jersey number and inducted him into the Ring of Honor. It was first class all the way. Crawford set all sorts of records with the Ice Hogs and then won 2 Stanley Cups with the Blackhawks. He's been retired for a couple years now. I asked him what he misses the most about being a player.
The people in the game, your teammates, battling with them, having fun, that side of it. The compete, I love those big games where something was on the line.
And that's sports. We'll be right back.
Our temperatures tonight will drop down into the 20s underneath a mostly clear sky. Some frost tomorrow. Watch for some rain snow late Wednesday night.
Thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.